What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for the day. Now, I will say today is the first day of October, and last year, guys, October, November were absolutely massive for us. We went up about 60 to 70 units last year in October, and then in November last year we went up, I kid you not, we went up 80 to 85 units, which was our second best month ever. So these 2 months coming back to back are huge months for us. It's really the meat and potatoes of NFL and college football season, and yeah, I'm looking to recreate that once again. Now, I will say, these, like I said, these October, November months, massive gains were happening last year, right? And again, all I can do is, think about, how we did this year, how we're doing so far this year, and how we did so far this last year. And 2024 by October 1st, so this time last year, if you took all of 2024 up until October 1st, we're up about 280 units, right? So I actually have videos going back, you could go back to October 1st of last year, and I would show this graph actually, and we're up about 280 units by that time last year. Now, this year, so if we're going from January 1st to October 1st, we're up 188 units so far this year. So we're down about 100 units to where we were in comparison to last year, right? So again, we're still up 188 units going over the year, and still good performance, but we are down about 100 units to where we were last year. But I will say, again, this time last year, we were up 280 units, and we finished off the year at about 600 units up. So these next like 3-4 months are massive for us, and we went up, pretty much 300 units in just these last 3 months alone. Okay, so huge performance stuff going on in these last 3 months, hopefully. And again, it's because of football season, NFL season ramping up and really getting underway. Okay, so again, hopefully, we could get another 300 units in these next 3 months, and we could, in the year going up 500 units or something crazy like that, right? So yesterday was very good, right? We didn't have any major hits, but we had a lot of setups. And I will say, if you're a longtime follower of this channel, or you're on the VIP or whatever it is, you can look at this screen, and I'm not going to give away like any crazy secrets or anything, but there is a massive thing going on with correlation and what you can do now with correlation, specifically with Counter-Strike. Okay, so you guys can see with Counter-Strike, these two guys cash together. With Counter-Strike, these two guys cash together. With Counter-Strike, these two guys cash together. So Counter-Strike has already cashed a ton for us. Again, down here, this guy technically does DMP, or sorry, he pushes at 18, and then this guy goes under. So, if you know what we do here, and you know what we normally do here, and we're kind of like there's a minor change that has happened maybe in the past 2 weeks that you can now take advantage of, and it has really been doing well for us. So we're going to keep sticking to that. So there's really an opportunity that is in PrizePicks right now with correlation. Again, normally when these things happen, I don't know how long these things normally happen, right? At the beginning of the season, there was actually a correlation that you could do with quarterback yards and then receiver over longest pass reception, and that would give you a really good payout, and they ended up actually taking that away in like a week or two. So I'm not sure how long this is going to last. I think it's something that PrizePicks wants to do, and again, it is with Counter-Strike correlation. So again, if you're in the VIP, we're doing really well in Counter-Strike, and I see for the foreseeable future, if they keep it this way, we're going to continue doing very well in Counter-Strike, and I've been spamming entries like this. But it being Wednesday morning, it being early on Wednesday, we are already set up very well going into the weekend, and we're going to continue setting ourselves up going into the weekend. If you don't know how I think about football season, I always think about football season as when Monday Night Football ends, we go into kind of like the weekday, right? And we try to get set up for the weekend, and then right when Thursday Night Football kicks off, and this week it is the Rams versus the 49ers, right when Thursday Night Football kicks off, that is the start of the weekend, and we try to get as many caches as possible of all of the setups we have. Okay, so again, it is, if you want to get into the VIP, I'm telling you, today is like the best point in time to do so, because I'm going to be spamming entries all today. I'm going to be spamming entries all tomorrow up until NFL, the kickoff of Thursday Night Football. And again, that doesn't mean I don't have any entries on Friday and Saturday, because we do, and we do a lot of second half plays and stuff like that, and those are really good. But again, a lot of these entries that we take on Tuesdays or on Wednesdays, they end up cashing on Saturdays and Sundays because we take them so early and we get early value. Okay, so again, if you're in the VIP, you should have got some of these entries in. And again, we got to wait till like Saturday night. This game is a big game Saturday night, but again, we set this up early, and this was a game that actually happened this morning. All right, so a lot of setups already. We actually have a setup for Thursday Night Football as well down here with Stafford and Devontae Adams, so that's good to see. So again, trying to think if there's anything else to go over. I don't think there is. entries. If you do want to get into the VIP, I've mentioned, get into the VIP early, get into the VIP on Wednesdays, and you'll get a ton of entries. I will say with ONYX odds, guys, this is the #1 way to get into the VIP. It is so simple to do so. It probably takes less than 5 minutes to do so. All you have to do is click the link in the pinned comment. You guys can also just text me the word ONYX. So if you sign up for any app ever with me and you've gotten a month of the VIP, out of all of those apps that I talk about, over a very long period of time, this is probably the easiest and best value app that you can ever get, okay? Because you're getting a free $100 on ONYX odds, and it sounds way too good to be true. Why would they give me a free $100 to bet with? It makes no sense. It honestly still doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why they're doing it. It seems way too good to be true, but I'm telling you guys, I get a ton of people signed up for this a day, and they're like, dude, I can't even thank you enough. You're getting me a free $100 in free picks, all right? So free $100 in free picks. It comes in the form of 4 $25 entries. So again, I would deploy this on different games throughout the week, and hopefully you can get a couple cashes going, and you can slowly build your bankroll on ONYX odds. So this is one of those things where if you want to kind of have like a side pot almost on ONYX odds and be like, hey, I'm getting a free $100, and I'm going to try to slowly build my bankroll on ONYX odds on the side, and then eventually, hopefully you can get it to maybe $500, $1,000, $2,000, and then you can slowly withdraw, and it's just a free sort of like side income that you can slowly start producing on ONYX odds. All right, so a free $100 in picks, and you'll get 1 free month of the VIP. All you have to do is the instructions up here at the top. Text me ONYX to my number right here on the screen, and I'll get you guys into that. Okay, so I will also say if you want another app to sign up for, Rebet is another really good app. I'm going to start promoting this quite a lot in October. And Rebet, the reason why I like Rebet, it's really easy to sign up for, and it is pretty much available in every single state. So it's available in 46 out of 50 states. So some things with these apps is some of these apps are not legal in some states, some they are. It's really hard to keep up with which apps are legal in states, which are not. And Rebet is pretty much legal in most states that you're going to be viewing this video from. All right, guys. So again, Rebet is another one there. You can text me the word Rebet, and I'll get you into the VIP as well for a month free. All right. So I talked about ONYX quite a lot. I have this play, and then I have a play on PrizePicks. So the first play is going to be on ONYX odds. I gave out a play yesterday on ONYX odds too, but this is probably my favorite play of the weekend. Is Mississippi State plus 14.5. So it's pretty much Mississippi State coming within 2 touchdowns of A&M. Mississippi State, I think, is a much better team than thought, and this really reminds me of that Clemson and Syracuse game that I bet the plus 17 on with Syracuse. Syracuse did end up winning that game. Now, I don't think Mississippi State is going to win this game, but they're a much better team than what meets the eye, because Mississippi State generally past couple of years hasn't been very good. They played Arizona State, they beat them. They played Tennessee last week, they went into overtime with them. Again, overtime is a coin toss. They could have easily won this game. And again, they're playing Texas A&M, which always has close games. All right, Texas A&M is one of those teams. They always go to the level of their opponent, right? So they almost lost to Auburn, even though they did kind of handle Auburn. Like, they could have easily lost to Auburn if they played better. And then, Texas A&M, they had a close game versus Notre Dame. They've had very close games always, right? I watch a ton of Texas A&M. They have always very, very close games. And again, all Mississippi State has to do is come within 2 touchdowns of them to then cash this entry, all right? So really easy entry here, I think. And again, 14.5 is a big cutoff for these different spreads, because if they do win, if Texas A&M goes up by 2 touchdowns and kneels the ball out, then we'll win, right? And again, from the outside looking in, winning by 2 touchdowns to Mississippi State is a really good win versus Texas A&M, but we're still getting this at even odds, all right? So that's the play on ONYX, guys. I will say what I would do is I would put $10 on this play, and when you put $10 on this play, if this play does end up missing on Saturday, then I will actually cash up or Venmo you back the $10, all right? So I'm going to do the same thing that I was doing with Bovada. Go ahead and just send me your Cash App and Venmo when you do all this. So not only will you get a free $100 on ONYX odds, but this is pretty much a free pick for you. So if the play hits, then that's great. You'll hit the play and you'll get that money into ONYX odds. But if the play misses, I'll Cash App or Venmo you back the $10 and you'll get a month free of the VIP. So it's like a win-win-win-win, no-brainer for you, and it also helps me out because I'm affiliated with ONYX. All right, guys. All right, here's the play of the day on PrizePicks. We do have Joshua Carty to go over 7.5 kicking points here. Now, his line to make 2 field goals, so his 1.5 field goal make, which would mean 6 kicking points for him, is like minus 160 or something. So FanDuel and DraftKings have him at a high odds that he's going to get 6 kicking points. So that's going to be 2 field goals for him. And then all we need is the Rams just to score 2 touchdowns. And the Rams, I think, is really a top 5 offense. I'm going to be betting on the Rams overs pretty much all season, I think, especially with Puka and Stafford. And again, I think this game could be honestly a shootout. I think this could be a shootout type game between the Rams and the 49ers, causing a lot of kicking points. Now, I think the only thing that could affect this entry is if the Rams just keep scoring and scoring and scoring and scoring, and that would mean as in touchdowns, and that would mean that he only gets an extra point instead of a field goal. But I do think Joshua Carty, one of the best kickers in the NFL, he's done really good outside of 50 yards as well, which is big because sometimes at halftime you're going to kick a 55-yarder, 56-yarder to try to send your team into halftime with the lead, and that's going to be a free 3 kicking points for him if that is to happen. Okay, so I think this is a good one here. I think the Rams probably put up over 25 points in this game, and I think that's going to lead to Joshua Carty getting a lot of points as well. And then we have Jeremiah Love, and this is one of my favorite picks of the weekend here. We have Jeremiah Love under 108.5 rushing yards. Now, Jeremiah Love, probably the best running back talent-wise, the best running back in college football. He's probably going to go in the first round next year. He's going to be one of the best running backs that's going to be talked about all last year. So do I think Jeremiah Love is bad because I'm taking him under? No, of course not, guys. I think he's a really, really great player, but sometimes lines are just too high. And the reason why I think this line is too high, guys, is if you look at these Notre Dame players' lines on PrizePicks. So again, this is not coming from me. This is coming from PrizePicks. This is what PrizePicks believes Notre Dame is going to do to Boise State. We have CJ Carr, 236 yards. We have Jadarian Price, 71 yards is what he's projecting. By the way, this is the running back 2 on this team. So they run a split running backfield similar to Penn State and similar to Ohio State last year. They have 2 really, really good running backs that will probably go in the first and second round next year. And again, we have Jeremiah Love at 108 yards. And not only that, we also have Jeremiah Love at 30.5 receiving yards. Okay, so do I think that Notre Dame is going to lose this game and that's why I'm taking their unders? No. Do I think that Jeremiah Love's a bad player? No. I think straight up, Notre Dame, there's just too many yards to spread around, all right? They have like 2 receivers that are really good. They have a tight end that's really good that's probably going to get 40-plus yards. And they have Jeremiah Love at 108 yards. I think the only way that he does hit this is if he breaks out a 50 or 60-yard run, causing him to get a ton of yards just in one run alone. I will say, too, I don't think I have it pulled up, but if you look at the data, Jeremiah Love started the season getting like 70 to 65% of the carries, and it's slowly evening out to 50-50 now. So Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love are slowly evening out to 50-50 share of the runs. And again, I don't really know why they're doing that. Probably just to keep everyone healthy, keep everyone in good health and energized and stuff, but they're slowly evening out to like 50-50 run share. So Jeremiah Love's only getting like 13 to 14 runs. Now again, could he break out a 60 to 70 yard run? Of course, guys, right? It's one of the best running backs in all of college football. Of course he can get a 60 to 70 yard at some point in this game, but I am going to bet actually against that he's not going to do that. And even if he does break out a 25-30 yard run, I still think it's going to be really hard for him to get 108 yards in this game, all right? So main thing here, there's just too many players to spread the ball out, okay? There's too many players to spread the ball out to. You have a lot of talent on Notre Dame, a lot of players that are trying to get yards and stuff. And again, if any one of these guys gets let's say Malachi Fields gets a 60-yard catch for a touchdown or something, that's going to in turn take away yards from Jeremiah Love, if that makes sense, right, guys? So it's going to be a play for the day on PrizePicks. I think there's different discounts throughout the day. I think there's different what are they called, hot dogs or something on the MLB that are going to be coming out on PrizePicks, so look for that. I might middle all of them or honestly just take all their unders because these discounts on PrizePicks have been really bad recently, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. If you do want the VIP again, with ONYX odds, it's a win-win-win-win-win. Like, there's actually so much value on ONYX odds because you're getting a free $100. You can take the play that I took on Mississippi State, which I think is one of the best plays I've seen in a couple of weeks. Other than that Syracuse play that I talked about a couple of weeks ago. And then if this play does end up missing, then you will get your money back. So I'll actually cash up you back the $10. If the play hits, then you'll get that money into ONYX odds. And again, you're getting a free $100 plus a free month of the VIP. All right, guys. So let's have a big October. As I talked about yesterday, it's been very up and down. It's been a little bit rough this past week, but these months like this, October, November, I've been waiting for all year, because these months you can actually go up so many units so quickly, and it happens at the push of a button, right? It happens super, super fast before you know it. So again, lock into the VIP. You'll get a ton of plays today, tomorrow, all up until going into the weekend. And yeah, let's have a good weekend, guys. I'm excited for it. We have a lot of setups going into the weekend already, and let's keep stacking those entries, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.